PCX's rework is just something. I know that recently PCX has been reworked for the 10th billionth time now, and I can't do anything but hope that it does not happen again. Whether you hate it or love it, we can at least somewhat agree that PCX has fallen out of the spotlight, and is no longer that blue server-sweeping rodent that everybody played. While many people were very angry about the rework, I personally would like to talk about it, and talk about why the rework I believe is necessary. I believe that PCX did need a nerf, but the rework was just not the way to do it, and there could have been many ways to improve it to make it more fitting. Of course, I am not God, so not everything I say is right, meaning that... Oh my god! Anyways, what I meant to say was, if you guys have any suggestions of your own, please comment down below and let's get into the video. I will first go over why the rework sucked, why it's necessary, and how the rework could have been done better. Keep in mind, I literally fucking suck at playing PCX, so you will cringe upon watching the footage, and I am sorry for that. The rework changed the ability from God Unbound, an ability buffing your attack damage to 25 and making you faster, to You Can't Run, a move that has 50 damage, slower than GTA 6 coming out, and has end lag longer than testicular cancer treatment. You see, PCX right now is a feet tickler. It used to do 18 to 20 damage, it actually depends on before or after the rework, but he needs a way to deal damage and not massage the survivors the entire game. That's where his abilities came in. You see, Found You before the rework often did 45 damage. Can somebody please explain to me why it does that? Like, I don't know why, it's not supposed to, and I really fucking hated the guy. But the jump replenished his energy and did 25 damage, and his dumb speed buff from God Unbound allowed him to land every single hit. Granted, this isn't actually PCX at his prime, he was way more annoying before, but he's pretty good, he was pretty good. But after this rework, Found You is slow as fuck, and the most visible thing possible. His jump does like 18 damage, and his second ability is just really terrible, bro. Bro has literally finally entered his final form. He basically can no longer deal damage, and his speed doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things when damage isn't possible. PCX also has like 35 stamina, which really sucks because I'm sure most of you guys understand how stupid it is to handle low stamina, and when you can't deal damage, you're going to be out of stamina while the survivors are going to be leaving a 5-star review about the back massage you gave them. Honestly, PCX might as well do that instead, because he just is not a good monster. He has been butchered in front of our very eyes, and before you guys swarm the comments like, I can still wipe with PCX, you do have to admit, it became much harder with this rework, and PCX now actually takes brain cells to play, something 95% of the PCX players originally did not have. Now you might be wondering, how is ruining a character necessary for a game? Now I'm not saying that Blade destroying PCX and nerfing it to the ground was a good idea, but I'll go over why PCX had to be dragged down a little bit, if you know what I'm saying.
I actually do have a complaint. Please stop picking Sonic.exe, bruh. Can I see new monsters, bro? Like every single round I just see Sonic.exe, Sonic.exe. Oh, so I know his name is not Sonic.exe, it's PCX or whatever, but fuck off. It's literally fucking Sonic.exe but with orange shoes.
I do have to agree with Brian GXD on this one. The issues with PCX was that it was slowly becoming too apparent. He was being used every single round, and diversity was extremely limited. Every time you joined a server, there was at least 5 people playing PCX, and it didn't help that PCX was very annoying to play against. Lack of diversity is an issue many games face, and it can surely kill off one. Not only did taking PCX out of the spotlight prevent Pillar Chase 2 from getting stale, it promoted diverse gameplay. Think about this. Valum recently got released, and I made a video on him. Something you should totally watch about why he was mid. Nobody would actually use Valum over PCX if they wanted to win games, and the update would have literally no impact. PCX was thought to be one of the most unskilled monsters for most of its history ever since it was released, and doing this to PCX made the game, in a sense, a bit more fair than it was before, and allowed other characters to rise to the spotlight, like EXE and Uncle Samsonite. Something had to be done about PCX, but Blade didn't actually...
The main issue I have with the rework is that in a sense, Blade has ruined the idea of Sonic. Sonic is a fast, high-speed character, and the old PCX used to show this perfectly, and the users were almost fast enough to catch up to their missing dads. Giving PCX a slow move that did high damage is just out of his character, and removes his idea of being a high-speed character that does minimal damage. You can't run as a move damaged PCX severely, as while it requires no energy during usage, the long cooldown makes it impossible to be viable as a way to catch up the survivors. The update did what Blade had intended, but it just didn't do it right. Nerfing you can't run to 50 damage does put PCX back as this low damaging character, but the move being so slow that my grandmother could outrun is very terrible. I believe that you can't run's cooldown should be dropped lower, and it should be easier to turn so it's a viable option to catch up to survivors. His found you ability should be brought back to being invisible, as making the move so recognizable really sucks and impossible to land on competent players unless they're doing tasks. I do believe that changing him is a step in the right direction, but the rework wasn't. But hey, how would you change PCX? Do you think the rework does its job? Comment down below, as I would love to hear what you guys have to say, and I hope to see what other plans Pillar Chase has in store.